All right, chat room. Let us know when you can see and hear us. Please help us. All right.
Oh, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You're our only hope. Nerds.
I know.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Speaking of nerds, I need to remind Jen she has something on the porch.
Can you hear me?
It's a nerd.
Yes, we can hear you. And
Okay,
Max
right.
says he can see us all. Well,
Thank you.
relatively.
Yeah, there is an echo, too. I hear the echo as well.
Mew doesn't have his
Oh, yeah,
headphones on.
I don't have my headphones on yet.
Oh, good. Echo base.
It's just I can't hear the outside world when I have these on, so...
Neither can Tat.
Nope.
Oh,
hey,
good.
there's Stask. All right.
Awesome.
Speaking of people
Hello
we'll have
there.
on in a month. Anyway.
Hello there.
You're in my ears now.
Yay.
Excellent.
All right. And you are leading this thing, so just give me a countdown when you are ready.
Doomed. We're all doomed.
Usually.
Echo. Okay.
That looks
Who
good.
knows?
That looks good. And now I can't see anything. All right. Perfect.
I just won't be able to see chat very easily because Discord keeps core dumping every time I open it.
No.
Who knows what they did? Oh well. Alrighty. I suppose we are ready to go.
Yes.
All right.
No objections. Alrighty. In 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Warcraft is a rumbling.
Diablo Season 2 is a raging.
Rage. SWTOR Mando Fun Night, because I like calling it Mando Fun Night, for them, is flying casual.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. Final Fantasy 14 is falling for Fall Guys.
And we have Lucy and Gusty here with all your World of Warcraft news.
And we mean all of it.
Yep.
All that and so much more coming up right about now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
And welcome to episode 412 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alea Iacta S gaming community. The die has been podcast. This is Mew Cow. And to my virtual left is Makala.
Hey guys, there is dark chocolate brownies and strawberry almond tea cakes in the Guild Kitchen.
And somewhere over in that general direction, and below, left, right, up, center, is Tetsemi.
Hello! I have a spreadsheet for my warband. I mean, I need to get a spreadsheet for my warband.
So we're getting the warband back together?
We all do.
Yeah.
And of course, this week we are joined by special guests, Lucy and Gusty. They are here to talk to us about what AIE is plotting for Warcraft. Because there might have been some news this week. Might have been. Welcome. I can't hear you waving.
They can see it's an audio-visual format.
Yes.
Audio visual. All right. Well, why don't we see what these crazy kids have been up to in real life and beyond? And let's start with Gusty.
I had some great fun cosplaying Karlak for Halloween. We
Nice.
didn't have any organized Halloween events here in Maine because there was a terrible shooting. And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
not really something anyone wanted to do to be festive, but my kid and I went out to dinner dressed as Karlak, and he was dressed as Gale, and that was
Oh
really
my
fun.
god, yes!
And you
the
looked
couple next
amazing.
to us recognized who we were, and said, "Oh, by the way, she's in our party. You're not."
That's amazing! Oh my god, I love it.
Which, random aside, I learned that bad things happen if you just kill Gale off.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, okay, game. All right. Well, sounds like you had quite the party going on over there. I'm also curious what Lucy and Lucy's cat are up to over there.
Was a quiet Halloween out here in the wilds of Kentucky. My daughter came to visit though. She lives in Jersey, so that was great. We spent 4 or 5 days with her and her boyfriend, so that was a good thing. Other than that, it's all the games all the time.
Yes. We'll talk much more about that, but first, let's see what Tessa's been up to.
A lot of Baldur's Gate 3. Speaking of speaking of Gale and Karlach, yeah, just I'm in Act 3. I'm going through and wrecking what I can and saving who I can, and now just doing the culmination of Shadowheart's quest because I'm like, I should go find that thing and go deal with that. So yeah, I'm dealing that. So that, and then pen and paper, we're still doing a War in the Stars, and had some fun dealing with a saboteur in a mining facility that we had to stop, and then found out that there's a fun computer virus that is overriding the facility, and it was intentionally dropped there. And we need it because that's like a great little bomb to drop on other things. So we need to go get that virus and, share it with people that we love.
And certain people will probably give us good money for it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially your cat credit for.
Yep. And I will let McCullough deal with the rest of the pen and paper. So, McCullough?
No, because we have a lot of news in this show, so I'm not going to go through all the pen and paper.
Just very quickly.
So Halloween happened. We actually had a Halloween evening tea party, which was a lot of prep. My work costume for Halloween was Snowy-One Kenobi, as my friend called it, which was, Jedi Snow White. And then I came home and became Agent Carter because I needed to take that dang wig off. And let's see. In other pen and paper Star Wars, because it was the exact opposite. This was really high level. We have tracked down a member of a mysterious order to a planet on the way outer rim, and we are now trying to figure out where this person is. Oh yes, and this person is my character's wife's brother, who is believed to have been dead. And he is not. And he's a member of a really scary order.
You, what have you been up to?
Yeah, what you been up to, Mew?
Yeah, as for me, yes, we had the Halloweens. Way busier than has been in the past. Like, it was just, we ran out of candy. Like, I was pulling stuff out. I think I probably even delved into Valentine's Day to candy at this point. We were just but a lot of good costumes, a lot of friendly kids, as Mrs. Mew mentioned. It's so nice to see unjaded high schoolers participating and having fun.
We had a lot this year. It was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were, and we didn't quite do the famed potato or candy thing, but which apparently was extremely popular this year. All the kids loved those potatoes.
Yeah.
But we did the Pokemon cards, which was like candy or Pokemon cards, and they would immediately light up and say Pokemon cards.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. Cool. So because that was the thing this year. I just noticed like they just this big tray of Pokemon prepackaged cards is for trick or treat handout. Mm-hmm. Boom, done. Like it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was great. Like I said, like some kids didn't even want the candy; they just wanted the Pokemon cards and ran off. So it was like, okay, you do you, kid.
Yep.
But which was good because, like I said, we ran out of candy. Like it was actually good we had the cards because it saved us from being completely out. Like, I was almost eyeing. I would not do it, of course, but I was almost eyeing Xander's candy. Like, we've done
that before.
Yeah, it's like you're not gonna eat all this anyway, so. But
recycling.
Yes. Or just send them out again. Go get some candy from next door. Yep. We'll pass that out ourselves. But So yeah, that's what the real world focus has been. But let's see, game world not much. Just since raiding is on pause for now, we were doing some raid achievements. So we were doing all the glory of the yada yadas, and got a few mounts, which it's even easier than it seemed to be in the past. So I don't know, they did some good tuning passes, I guess. But,
is this the Gloria the Raider from Aberys?
Yeah.
That's an ugly mount, but yeah, still did it.
Yeah, Aberys, the Vault. Then we went back and did the Sepulchre from Shadowlands. Because it turns out there was a whole zone I never set foot in. They had to summon me. I was like, "What is this place?" It's like, "Oh yeah, you weren't here, were you?" No, what is this raid? so.
Yeah, if you missed that, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see any of that. I was seeing all new cutscenes. Like, oh hey, Anduin, you're looking rough.
That was the only pretty place in the entire expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting time. It's like, hey, I got the raid achievement that I never got, but
Awesome.
yeah, but that's about it. Yeah, it's just don't have enough time for all the games. So, but that's enough out of us. Let's hear more from you, AIE, and check this week's AIE news.
AIE News.
All right, we have lots of Nomads news to start off with. Warcraft Rumble, it has a guild, AIE Alliance. It looks like there's a cap of 15 members, so we're working on a solution going forward. Of course, hashtag AIE problems. Hopefully we won't have to replicate the WoW Horde guild structure, but we might. There's a group trying out Ark Survival Ascendant, a newly released remastered version of the game. Nazrai is hosting the server, and details are in the Nomads channel. We have some shared resources and plenty of experts that can help out as well. And in Diablo 4, Season 2 is all the rage. The Season of Blood has been live since October 17th, and several patches since have brought some significant changes to the game. Many in the clan have commented how it feels much more like it should have been at launch and are enjoying those changes. Beginning with this season, you'll have the option to skip the campaign after completing the prologue, allowing you to start with the season right away. The new season brings the usual trappings, a new quest line, enemies, endgame bosses to fight, and a battle pass. Some things that are going on now that you don't want to miss. Twitch drops. News.blizzard.com.
Just check the links in the show notes. We'll post them.
There's links in the show notes. The game is now available on Steam for those who have not purchased it and prefer to search such things. And also, another link there, the clan Alia Octa Est in Diablo 4 has reached capacity, mostly from the launch rush. Room can be made for active players who wish to participate in Season 2. If you are inactive and do not foresee yourself returning this season, you may drop the clan to make room for those joining us this season. You can always be added later when you wish to return.
All right. And in SOTOR news, first things first, Lucy got her Star Wars Women of the Galaxy Magic Band.
It'll be here tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes!
And she is heading to Walt Disney World in April.
One of my best friends is literally there right now. In fact, she's making lightsabers as we speak. So I'm excited for you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right. And MFN, we are super casual this week due to the holiday, but that didn't mean the galaxy went unscathed. Quinn led us to victory on many planets. In-game, the Feast of Prosperity is going on. It's an opportunity to earn currency for pets, outfits, decorations, and mounts. It's always a fun time with its quirky missions and the community's increased interest in doing world bosses. Worth noting, the feast ends Tuesday. Grab those Prosperity tokens now. Next up, Life Day. Oh yeah, and patch 7.4 is coming soon.
I'm so looking forward to the Star Wars
Life
Christmas
Day.
special. Yeah, gotta watch that special. Gotta watch it. It's just, yeah. Alrighty. In Final Fantasy XIV news, Final Fantasy XIV's strange, out of nowhere but still fun Fall Guys collab. Yes, we were all flabbergasted at FanFest. Like, okay, you can just hear the crowd going, okay, yay. But sure, why not? But it's now out until the end of the year, December 31st. Join other players in Blunderville. I guess that. Yeah. Because it's Manderville, I see.
Yes.
Manderville Gold Saucer to earn Fall Guys themed items. The guild events are continuing with Echoes of Eureka on 7 p.m. Eastern every Saturday, followed by Map Night at 9:30. With Stormbud being part of the free trial, you can join Eureka now for free, so come check it out. If you missed Final Fantasy XI and wanted to grind and suffer and die, go to Eureka and enjoy yourself. Just look for Kelsier in Discord if you want more information. There are plenty of people that would love to suffer with you. I mean, help you with that part of the game.
Same difference, actually.
Yeah.
All right. And in ESO news, the final standings for the first edition of the Guild's Tale of Tribute are out. Let us give congratulations to all that participated and the special congrats to the 2 individuals who are tied for first place for this round. All right, so we have Bashira and DP Roberts with 6 wins and 4 losses each. We have Dan Kinia, New Type, and I can never pronounce
Malachi.
her name. It's Barb.
Malachi. It's Barb.
I know. I'm like I can never. I look. I'm like I know it's Miss Mulgra. It's Malachi. All right. So they are both. They all 3 of them are dead even at 5 wins and 5 losses, and Kramer is at 3 wins and 7 losses.
I'm in a D&D game. Sorry, I had to just chime in, and I always pronounce her head as Malaki in my
Me
head.
too. That's my problem. Also, I'm like it's Barb. It's Miss Mulgra. She and I once went hiking in the snow together, literally at Snowbird. One of my very favorite people on the humans, one of my very favorite humans on the planet. I look at that name and I can't say it. Anyways, and I guess I love you, Barb. Our next tournament will start the January of 2024. All are welcome. And in other ESO news, they've been killing world bosses and defeating a giant crow for the Witches Festival event, and working on trials again and having lots of fun doing so, even though they have less than 12 people. More trials and diving into the new endless archive content. And Update 40 is now out on PC and will be out on November 14th for consoles.
And in STO news, in case anyone missed it, the Federation fleet has completed all holdings and have unlocked everything you can buy from holdings. Oh. They will be keeping projects rolling to help them earn fleet credits. The Klingon Defense Fleet has pushed the starbase to Tier 3, with the Spire knocking on the door for Tier 2 completion. K-13 is closing in on Tier 1. We've made a lot of progress with the KDF fleet. Currently, in STO, there is a Red Alert event going on and bonus experience event going on until the 16th. Phoenix Prize Pack is available, Phoenix Prize Pack event until the 9th. And if you missed it, they released the Master Systems display of the Enterprise F. For those that don't know, this is what you would typically see on the show of the cross-section of the ship showing the Master Systems. They make great desktop wallpapers.
And to geek out. Over in Lord of the Rings Online, the Corsairs of Umbar expansion is expected to go live on November 8th, so just a few days from now, with new instances and a raid to follow within the month. Mailung finished their part of the Lord of the Rings Online stream marathon, and they set a personal goal of $100 that would go to Norton Children's Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky. By the end of the hour, with the awesome community, they raised $145.
Awesome!
So they beat their goal, and it also added almost $900 towards Extra Life. The $900 includes the $145 donated via their participant link.
Amazing.
Shush you. But with that, let's go into what another special extra bonus news with our 2 special guests, Lucy and Gusty, and they're going to tell us all about the stuff Warcrafty and maybe more.
Yes. And hey, I think we did the news in record time.
We did.
Well,
All
there
right.
was an extra AIE specific news this
True.
week. For the first time, New Braid down the final 2 bosses in Aberrus with Dankinia present.
Yay!
The previous clears
Kinney!
always happened when she was on vacation.
Yep.
So thanks to everyone who joined to get Kinney her achievement, and grats to everyone who got gear, including Grim Cow, who just came back to the game.
Yay.
Yeah.
Grim.
Patch 10.2 arrives this week with a new zone, new raid, and most important, new transmog for Gusty Tail. And there was some sort of RP event in Anaheim this week with swords, but what swords?
What swords?
Hashtag what sword?
I think there was also there was some cosplay shindig too. There, yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right,
yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So now what? We're going to decide who goes first, Lucy or me, with the BlizzCon news?
I see your name first on the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys figure that out.
Because she got into it first.
All right.
Well, you guys figure this out.
No, let's do this way. So Gusty, because the classic news we're definitely gonna dig into, because I want to know all about Cataclysm Classic Y and Cataclysm Plus, which is more interesting to me. But they didn't announce an expansion at BlizzCon for retail, which was really surprising. They announced how many, Gusty?
They announced 3 expansions coming. Yeah, and it's going to be called the World Soul Saga. And the first part, War Within, is due out next year, and you can already pre-purchase. I did, and boosted my new Draenei red-skinned warrior named Karlak.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was good timing.
You're melding your obsessions.
Yep. It's always good when they work like that. So the first part, The War Within, is due out next year, and there's a fantastic cinematic featuring Anduin and Thrall with, spoiler alert, a really big sword. At BlizzCon, I literally teared up watching Chris Metzen talking about WoW's 20th anniversary and how they are now planning for the next 20 years. And this is a huge turnabout. Yeah. From just not too long ago, when the disgraced former exec, Alex Afrisabi, was saying he treated every expansion like it's the last one. And then Shadowlands literally was the last one for a lot of people.
It was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was.
And they're starting to come back, and so far everybody's loving Dragonflight. There's been such a change, and all the BlizzCon speakers talked about listening to player feedback, respecting people's time and their play styles, as well as offering more options for how they appear in game.
Wonderful.
It's amazing what happens when you respect a player's time.
Yes.
It's such a difference.
Absolutely.
There's still a lot of pressure to get things done, but I
actually enjoy playing WoW now. I don't feel like it's the annoying thing I have to do every week or every day or whatever. It's just like, I can actually do something fun in this game now. I'm not required to be here.
It's fun stuff, yeah. And just some of the new stuff that is coming for War Within includes cross-realm guilds and raiding, which is something people have been begging for. This sounds cool, but it's going to be yet another test for Greenwall.
Hashtag AIE problems.
Yep.
Because Blizzard doesn't take into account giant mega guilds. There are going to be hero class talents that will be a separate tree because balancing issues. And they're going to be support class fantasy, such as Dark Rangers for hunters, Templars for paladins, and Farseer for shaman, which are just, the names are all fantastic.
Amazing.
For the people with way many alts, myself included, they're going to have war bands, which let you and your alts share reputation, a joint bank, which can hold reagents, and there's going to be some gear that you can have that's warbound gear. Anyone of your alts can use it, and you can, trade it among them, as opposed to, you will still have some soulbound. It's just for you. But that's really cool. And a load-in screen will show you and your alts sitting around a campfire, and that's going to be glorious.
That's neat.
Hello there, Swotor. How you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? We've been doing it for how many years now? It's great.
I'm so glad we're catching up.
Yes.
Also, any gear that your character receives will be added to your transmog, even if the character can't equip it. And Blizzard is considering expanding which classes can wield different items, following complaints about trading post gear, because Mog is life.
Yeah.
Delves is going to be a new option for outdoor content, which is going to be for 1 to 5 players, similar to the Sniff and Seeking in Dragonflight and Scenarios in Pandaria. Hopefully, they get something that people will actually enjoy this time. And it's one of several outdoor activities that are going to give you an item choice in the weekly Great Vault. And they're removing PvP choice from that because it turns out PvP players don't want a random item. They want something specific.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a new allied race, dwarves, known as the Earthen. And they can join either Alliance and Horde. So Horde's going to get dwarves for the
Very
first
fun.
time.
That's great.
And these are big, beefy dwarves, too. Dragon riding, the current thing, is going to become dynamic flight in the next expansion and the foreseeable future. And Blizzard has about 100 pre-dragon flight mounts that are ready for this, and they're working on others. But players will still have the choice to toggle between the new and original flying. Druids, woo! Flight form should be working in the next expansion, and the Drakthir will have dynamic flight as their current ability soar in patch 10.2.5.
Yeah, the only downside of the new Druid flight form is that it will be a cast time, at least right now.
Oh,
So-
I hadn't seen that. I can deal.
Yeah,
I do
so
like
yeah, so if you want the instant cast time, you have to have old flight. But if you don't mind having the cast time, then you can have dynamic. So, but we'll see if that stays the same. I think a lot of people are going to have opinions about that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah,
Gamers having opinions. That doesn't actually happen. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We also don't
And-
break games.
Nope, never.
not at all. No.
I do like how he separated and said it's now dynamic flight and Burning Crusade flight. Like
Yeah, TBC. Yep.
That's true.
First
which
time we
is
had flight.
interesting considering that I know we haven't discussed the 3 expansions yet, but like the one of the expansions we're going back to, or the second expansion we're going back to Qual to Loss.
Midnight.
Yeah, and hopefully
Yeah,
they'll
avoid
actually get flying working for it. So yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you a fun story about flight in the old world, but we'll save that for other times.
Next time. But speaking of patches, Season 3, patch 10.2, is arriving on Tuesday with Guardians of the Dream, and it's going to feature a new raid, Amir Distil, which is the new world tree. And it's finally time to kill that jerk Farak and take his new, carefully crafted legendary axe, Ferath, the Dream Render. And it was confirmed there would be a Season 4 with Fated Raids, which is like something that they made up for Shadowlands. And it was an event where all the expansions raids were active and increased to max level content. And that was actually a lot of fun to just jump between them. And there's lots of other stuff, but I'm going to pass it over to Lucy anyway.
Pass the torch.
Passing the torch.
Yeah. Oh my God, we are all so excited and so excitement for this weekend's reveals. Watching the WoW presentations was incredible, all of them. And knowing that we Classic fans are finally getting Cataclysm in Classic was so worth the wait. I didn't really play much of Cata. We were in transition from Europe back to the States and didn't find a fit, so we kind of moved on to other games. But we're very happy that it's happening, and it'll be mostly new for me.
Awesome.
We are
That's awesome.
many of us are hoping for a whole lot more info on #changes, but yeah, we didn't get any. The only thing we really got is transmog, which is great. I'm looking forward to that and not having to look ridiculous in gear that was awarded to me. But other than that, we were looking for things like one of the things that the Stale Push Marshmallow team is looking for, flex raids. We currently have 12 raiders. 10-man doesn't cover 12.
Right,
Nope.
right. Yeah, so
It's very,
yeah.
it's very distressing and difficult to work the roster and rotate people in and rotate people out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very stressful. So if we could get flex rating, that would be great. And there's no way that we would want 25-man because 25-man is about 12 people too many
Yes.
in a raid.
Absolutely, and herding cats
Yes,
as
yes.
well. What you do in real life, you know, it's you don't want to do that in your game life.
No.
Right. Um, we are all very excited. I'm excited that they're keeping the heroic plus concept. We've been enjoying keeping We've been enjoying going back into all of the heroics and getting updated content, updated gear.
Yes.
They have special affixes. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are much more difficult than others, depending on your
Comp.
your composition. Because there are a couple of them that if you're a full melee group, man, you're going to struggle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then some of them are just ridiculous. There's the Halls of Lightning, Halls of Stone affix is you just run from mob to mob to mob to mob because you never need mana. You never need, I mean, it's literally nonstop and you all get big and you just keep running. It's great, but, you know.
A little ridiculous, but fun.
Yes, a little ridiculous, but it is fun. Yes, keeping dungeons relevant. And that's really good. I think it's awesome because it gives us so much different things. One of the things that is concerning is that they talked about a faster cadence to patching, and that can be a little what's disconcerting. I mean, we're shortened already. We're already compressed because it's classic and it's all been done before. But in Wrath, it was like, it seemed like we were in Nax forever. We weren't. It was probably 4 months, which was probably 3 too long. But Nax was Nax, because Nax was, roll through it, no problem. We were in Ulduar. Hadn't been too bad. TOC was really fast, probably only like 2.5 months, 3 months. Now, maybe a little more, not much though. And we just got into ICC about 3 weeks ago. So we're looking forward to clearing ICC. We're hoping for about 3 to 4 months before we hit pre-patch. We're hoping for April. April is the date we want for a release date. But they say sometime before August. I think August would be a little long. I know August would be a little long because that would be like 10 months from now. Too long. Right. Too long. And they pick up the pace much faster. That might be a bit of an issue, but And there was most definitely that reference to Mists, as she said, for all of the Mist Ariza wait.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny. I mean, we're fairly certain we'll definitely get Mists, which is good. I like Mists. Some of the other news was what Tets was asking about was Classic Plus. We are intrigued about the Season of Discovery. What Season of Discovery gives you is, for almost lack of a better term, multiclassing. You can have mage healers. I think that'll be interesting. And on the Horde side of things, we're thinking, because it's vanilla, we're thinking the possibility of a shaman tank.
Yeah. Or a warlock tank.
A warlock tank.
Yeah.
The permanent warlock tank. And in a pinch, a rogue evasion tank.
Yep.
Your tank dies and you pick it up with a rogue who has the right talents. That'll be pretty interesting. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But again, we're hoping. But it's vanilla, so it's slow. Right. But level banding is good, because that means, 25 levels isn't anywhere as near as bad as 60 to start.
Absolutely.
And
raiding 10-man level 25 will be interesting.
Yes. Looking forward to raiding, to Black Fathom's Deep Raid. I think that'll be interesting.
Yep.
And even though I and most of us are mostly a classic player, the Saga of the Earth Soul sounds really, really cool, and I'm excited for that too. My biggest concern is, how can I play 3 versions of WoW, as well as my SWTOR operations teams, Arc, Baldur's Gate, and my paper D&D. And my paper D&D.
Right.
I'm guessing sleep is for the week, and
it is.
More hours in the day.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a rune for that.
Well,
yeah.
So back in old second ed D&D, there was a spell called Nap, which gave you 8 hours of sleep in a 1 hour period. So basically, the equivalent of a long rest and a short rest period. And I think I always wanted that in real life. Like 23 hours a day, sleep for an hour, feel rested. Sounds amazing. That's what you need. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
All the games, all the time.
Yep.
So yeah, we are definitely. We wished that they had spent more time talking about Cataclysm, and not just, oh, hey, wow, we're getting Cata, and then it goes away.
Right.
I mean, are they still trying to figure out how to explain why?
Well, I think the reason why is because they didn't want to skip right over Cata and go straight to Mist, because Mist is really loved too.
Right.
A lot of people really like Mist.
But can they call it classic anymore? Because you are now Cataclysm is when it stopped, when the original game became the new game, right? So everyone was missing how things were before Cataclysm. Well, now you're going past the Cataclysm. So
the other thing that several of the raid team talked about was the hate, the toxicity against Cata. There is so many people who are like, why are they doing this? The fact that they are not doing Wrath era servers like they did for straight vanilla.
Yeah.
Right.
They are not pulling off Wrath era servers.
At least not yet. They're still listening.
Not yet, right. Yes. Hopefully they'll listen, because there are a lot of people, and the hate and the it's sad, because
well,
there are the people who loved Cata.
Yeah.
There are.
I mean, my name's on Cata, so I kind of have a special place for Cata.
You do love Cata, right.
And my issue with Cata has always been coming out of Wrath. The group we were with, raiding and doing the content with, we felt like Wrath was, they got the tuning right and everything, and then you went into Cata, and it was like, okay, we're gonna make this harder, just to make it harder, and put it back to like vanilla level, difficulty and stuff. And for a lot of people, that was just like coming out of, the way we had it in Wrath, and the change in how everything operated in Cata was a literal shake-up, not just the world. And so there's a lot of people that do have bad memories of raiding in Cata with the difficulty it was at the time for those groups. It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I think not having Wrath servers is a mistake, because a lot of people were like, we wanted Classic, which is, the first three, and as you said, then, it goes to the new game. But I'm happy for the people that are looking forward to Cata or never got to experience Cata at level.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And Lucy,
Yeah.
if you were never there, if you're out questing in the world or anywhere and the sky turns red, you could try to run.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it doesn't
not
matter
happening.
Welcome to fire.
We were still on European servers when pre-patch hit, and when we were, get that feat of strength to have Deathwing kill you.
Deathwing
That's
say hi.
always
Yep,
have
absolutely.
Deathwing come up and give you a personal hug.
Yep.
That one was always good. I do remember that. I don't remember much else. I don't remember hardly any of the dungeons. I remember a little bit of the zones, and then, like I said, we transitioned and we moved back to the States. So
Right.
it was a busy time.
Yeah.
I think a part of it too is that it was the first and really only expansion where it was scattered. Like normally expansions were in a nice, neat little pile somewhere. You got this island over here, this continent over here.
Yes.
And Cata was the only one that said, we're scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Cata was my first expansion that I played at expansion. So I both loved and hated it, because it was trying to figure out how to do this all when Ted hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Because, I was a Wrath baby. So I had him guiding me along the entire time. He was a end of BC baby, and then besides playing originally. So like Cata, I loved it, but I hated it. It was neat seeing everything so brand new, but I got turned around so many times.
Yeah.
My biggest memories of Cataclysm were the fact that Old World got flying.
Yes,
And-
very much. Yeah,
Yes.
it was neat. 'Cause, yeah,
It stuck in my mind because I was actually playing it on the Blizzard servers before launch, and we were trying to figure out all the bugs. And I was the one that found out my druid was flying in BC, flew through the portal, popped out, was still flying.
oh,
like-
that's awesome.
Huh, that's not right. I'm flying in the Old World because this is Old World pre getting ready for Old World, right?
Right.
So we learned that it only dismounted your flying mounts and did not consider Druid flight form to be a mount, so it didn't dismount you. So I'm flying around. I'm insert Blizzard HQ, and I'm like, come here, look where I am. Oh yeah, you're in what was, I think it was Ironforge. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. You see, I'm flying over. Oh, that's cool. I'm in the Old World. Oh crap. So that was a fun time, because you could see like it was not prepared for flying. Like you saw behind all the vignettes and
Oh yeah.
all
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You saw behind the
But,
scenes, literally.
yes, literally behind the scenes, and yeah, that was a fun time. But that's what I remember the most is that we had to redo all of the Old World because it wasn't just those four new zones.
No.
Like they literally had to redo the entire both continents because they had to be seen from all angles with flight.
Yeah.
So that's that again. Like people don't appreciate how much work went into Cata because they had to do all that.
Right.
And that's
It,
why
it wasn't
feels
just like redoing the zone questing and all that. It was literally rebuilding the zone from the ground up.
yes.
Or
That's
from the sky down, as the case may be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So that's why like when I think back, like if you're talking classic, you're talking the vignette, like you can't see behind the scenes classic.
Right.
So switching over to Cata, now we're switching over to the new Old World. So I don't know, it's interesting. I'm curious what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you would think they'd want to have. I understand like not wanting to run servers that are empty because that's not good for anyone. Which is why they kept classic servers but not BC servers when they went to Wrath, because they didn't want to just leave people, by themselves stuck on a BC server.
Well, and to be fair, going to BC, like going to Wrath, going to BC, it's going to be the same at Wrath. Like nothing. I mean, other than the talent trees, nothing is really different about BC. Like BC is still BC. even
understood,
if you're Wrath.
but they they didn't want empty servers, so that's what I'm saying. If they'd done era servers of classic BC Wrath, and now they're doing Cataclysm, then you've got 4 sets of servers plus retail. You're really splitting the population out, and you can't do that. Which is why they said they weren't initially looking at keeping Wrath servers, because they feel that most of the population is going to move on to Cata, and they don't want empty Wrath servers.
Yeah,
Right.
and I guess like if you think about it though, is if you really do want true classic, well then you go to true classic.
Yeah,
Like, you can go to the true classic servers, and then you let everyone else move up to Cata. And if someone wants Wrath, well, they would have to go to Wrath. But Wrath is self-contained. Like nothing about Wrath is going to be affected by the fact that you're in Cataclysm. So I can see the thinking there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Lucy or Gusty, I don't know how much you were interested in Diablo 4, but there was some Diablo 4 news. Do either one of you want to cover that news from Duras?
I don't think I have that piece of information open.
Okay.
That's
Well,
okay. You wanna
I
go?
can go over. Okay, I'll go over it real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
So Diablo 4's update. This is fresh on there from Duras. Dev fireside chats. The latest from BlizzCon. They actually do have a link to the Blizzard.com in there in our show notes. They were pretty good. Maybe I shouldn't be the one talking about it, but they did. It was a good session. I did watch, but it was really just them talking about how they the improvements that are coming.
They did
And
announce
there
an
was-
expansion coming at the end of 2024.
Yeah.
And it was a
Yeah.
teaser of an, it's Mephisto that storyline. So
It was
we
very,
knew.
very green.
Yes.
Yes.
Lush, as opposed to the current one, which I've heard a lot of people say, I just need a break from how relentlessly ugly this scenery is.
Yeah.
Red.
And now you're going to have glowing green scenery trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, you need a variety in your death. It's fine.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing on a lot of these panels, like even the deep dive, was they only put out there, I felt, what they knew they were going to accomplish and ship, and that anything past that, they didn't even want to mention. Like, there was a lot of, on the Diablo 4 deep dive, or even some of the Q&A interviews, there was a lot of, we're not ready to talk about that yet.
Right.
Which is
We're not
fair.
ready to talk and accidentally promise a thing.
Right. Yeah, which, given the backlash and the other thing, is huge. The WoW panel, Ian was really hyping up the we're listening to you. Here, we want to get these hero builds into your hands in the alpha, in the beta, fully fleshed out so that you can give feedback and we can iterate on that feedback. The other thing that was really nice was he's like, there is no tension on swapping your things out like like happened with the Legion, not Legion. What was the four Kyrian Dragonfall?
Shadowlands.
Shadowlands.
Yeah.
With the four covenants. Thank you. I couldn't think of
We're
it.
locked into them, yeah.
Right. He's like, none of it is like, you can change, just change. Done. So that's good. And the nice thing is, I think it really allows them to focus on the current 61 talent trees and just leave them, and then just add this additional piece on that they can then iterate on. So
yeah, I like that you can essentially just change the flavor of your character really easily. The one example they showed as the warrior was neat, where you can kind of give yourself the thundering, jumping around and causing chaos with extra thunder going everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that was
the
pretty
names
nice.
of the different ones are very cool.
And I was also amused the fact that the druids and the demon hunters are special cases, because it's the demon hunters. It's like, everyone gets to pick two. Demon hunters, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only two.
Yeah, you're sharing two between the two.
Yeah.
But the druids are like, well, we're putting these two specs together, and you get two, and we're putting these two specs together, and you get two. So, yeah, it's interesting. I can't wait to see the warrior one they showed off, where he just charges in and slams the ground. You just see arcane bolts or something shoot out and nail all the enemies.
That was the thundering one. Yeah, that was the thundering one.
That looks really interesting.
The Mountain Thane, I think they called it. Was it?
Yeah, very Northrend style, I thought. What did you guys think of the Earthen as an allied race?
I think I think that at this point they might as well just make a dwarf faction.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
how many different elf races do
They
we
keep
already
calling
have?
them. They kept calling them Earthen, and every time you looked at them, it's like, but they're dwarfs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're dwarfs.
They're dwarf ancestors, but they're going to be 20 to 25% bigger than dwarf player models, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in some of the lore, they talk about the Earthen being created as like proto dwarfs, and then they got the curse of flesh, and then they became dwarves. So it seems like these guys are kind of like just to the point of not being constructs.
Yes,
right.
And being living things.
Yep. But I mean, you got your earthen dwarves, you got your default dwarves, you got your dark iron dwarves, and you can kind of have the wind seeking dwarves with the changes to the customizations. So add gnomes, because aren't they like a splinter of dwarfs? Because well, I mean they come from proto gnomes too, right? Because you've got the clockwork gnomes and mecha gnomes, and you got the supposed ones, like they were the more technical versions of amongst the earthen, but which I'm also curious if we're going to see more of them in the earthen areas, because supposedly they were working together. So, but yeah, I mean, you can basically have just a dwarven faction, and then they say that they're going to go crazy with the elves too. Well, elf faction.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, especially with midnight, you're going to round up all the disparate elf tribes. So
Exactly.
that's, does that mean that we're going to get horde night elves and we're going to get alliance blood elves, or
You have that already.
Well, yes, if you want to go with void, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Yeah, it'll be
I know.
interesting.
I'm also interested because there was news out today that, of course, Magni's going to be involved with working with the World
Yeah.
Soul, but his daughter
Oh, yeah.
Moira and her little, furry eyebrowed baby that we've seen,
Yes,
he's going to be grown up and adventuring with her. So
Right.
we're going to see Moira and Dagrin, I think is his name.
yes,
Questing too. They're going to help recruit or help the Earthen, help us help the Earthen.
Yep. Granddad Magni running around too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then having to deal with Braun and the Delves, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But I do like the fact that you can talent.
Wait, Bran, you're going too fast. Wait.
Exactly. I do like
pulling
the fact that you can talent them up. It's really interesting that you'll be able to put talents on him. So, like, if you're running a 3-person group but you don't have a healer, he can provide extra healing. Or
That's
if
fun.
you're running 3 DPS and you don't have a tank, you can make him more tanky. Another thing that looks like they borrowed from between ESO and SOTOR. So it'll be
Also in Warlords, you had the people at your garrison.
The bodyguards.
And some
Yeah.
were tanky. Yeah. And, there was one that would run ahead and pull everything just to get you killed. And there were several that actually were helpful.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Real quick, favorite thing from BlizzCon. Let's go around the room. Heather, I know you didn't get to watch much. McCullough.
I have not gotten a chance to watch any of it, so I'm going to listen.
All right, but what's the favorite thing you've heard so far?
I don't know. I've been in a tunnel all weekend.
All right, fair enough.
You've been sitting there at your desk listening to it. I've not heard anything.
All right, Lucy, what about you?
Favorite thing, probably that they did officially say that Cataclysm was coming, because that was, we were all on waiting, and when there was the leak that said everything was going to have to be fresh start, and it was like, no,
Yeah.
please, no. But other than that, I think getting Cata, although, I mean, all of the WoW stuff was really good news, I thought, so.
Cool. What about you, Gusty?
Warbands, alts, having
Yes.
shared rep, and it's like seeing them all together hanging out is great. But yeah, not having to rep grind on every alt is going to be so glorious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mew?
I was gonna say warbands because alts.
Say it anyway. You're the king of alts.
Yeah, because I've got 30 of them, and right now only 10 active. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all of that actually come together and mean something. But I think the thing that caught my eye the most over everything was that cinematic.
Yes.
When it first started, I kind of had to sit there for a second and saying, "Why are they doing a live action commercial?" That's
right.
Wow.
Because you look and it just starts the close up and it's like it's right in his face. You can't mistake all of the detail, like the individual eyebrow hairs that were waving in the wind, and this little whip here, and
His filthy beard.
Yes.
yeah, it's like it looked like a person. It didn't look like a character that was shiny and new from the digital forge.
Now
So
they
it's just like
yeah, I saw that they actually had the actors come into the studio. They didn't mocap them, but they had them live do the scene,
live act it. Yeah.
and then use that as the reference for the video.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Yeah, it's like it definitely wasn't mocap, but you can tell that they were using real references because it felt real. Like if until Thrall walked up, that you could have easily just thought, oh, that was just a live action shot.
Right. Yes, 100%.
Until the giant orc with the giant tusks came up and said, hey.
Yeah.
I love Thrall's gray hair.
The silver fox,
And-
yes.
Yeah, and just that he's getting older as Anduin's getting older, and his being a mentor. And I was also like, why is he helping Anduin and not Jaina? But then I realized you kind of hear a portal opening
Yes.
at the beginning of it,
Yep,
and he
yep.
came through. Now, I mean, mages obviously can't send you to a random spot, but it seems like, well, maybe Jaina can.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaina's powerful enough to do that. But
He's got a hero class talent.
I think the reason why it was Thrall is because they had to have Mirror and Echo. If you remember
Yes.
the scene from Shadowlands where he's trying to pull apart Charlemagne, one shoulder is
Saurfang.
No, Saurfang. And the other shoulder is Varian.
Yep.
So the thing is when Thrall takes his place and that's what triggers the PTSD.
Yeah.
So without him doing that, then you would not have triggered the reaction that you got.
Yeah.
If Jaina coming out and talking to him, he may have just said, "No, go away. I want to brood." But Thrall actually shook him out of his little brood. So
Yeah.
But he also says we
Yes.
gave you time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
Yeah,
know that they were
there are
coming.
people.
Yeah.
they
There's-
were watching over him and
Oh, yeah.
waiting for the right time,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is like, oh, it's so comforting.
yep.
And that was going to be my favorite as well. Also the what sword meme, as Seema
Yes.
points out.
Mhm.
The callbacks to Ian and what sword, and having that actually as a
The end,
poster
the close, yeah.
in the hall when everyone was walking in,
Yeah.
they saw it and it just said what sword, and they're like, everyone kind of shrugged it off, and a few people paused and went, wait a minute. And then they showed a photo later of Metzen and Holly and Ian, I think, posing with that sword.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite. Also, the fact that they said, we want to get the storyline out and not have to have your grandkids moving your mouse for you. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
someone's feeling the age there. Yeah,
That's also some good self-reflection on their part.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's get this story going. All right. You think that's about it? Anyone else have any last-minute additions, last comments, last thoughts? Good. Everyone good? Alrighty.
Yep.
So that's going to be our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Lucy and Gusty for joining us. So thank you, Lucy and Gusty, for joining us.
Yay!
Ew.
And Langthirst in spirit.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. No, because it's not a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
There was a lot of news and a lot of great stuff, but
Hey, we're still 4 minutes under. We can get this done in under an hour. Woo.
Yes, all right. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can find us on the AIE Discord and other non-Twitter social media. We record live with video every other Sunday approximately at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, aie-guild.org, podcast/live/stream, linked in the show note, and look for our Discord, the link in our Discord server at aie-guild.org. For past episodes, you can see them on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Just look for the AIE Podcast. Our theme, of course, was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And if we had some segments to drop in, this is where we would drop them in. But we will remain ever vigilant, ever hopeful.
And in about a month, because we're skipping the 19th, because they're having Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Fun times. We are not at all jealous at here. Not at all.
Hey,
Not at all.
come, no, dude,
I know,
there's
I
a
know.
spot at the
You're
table.
only
No,
two
no.
states
You
away.
get here.
Yeah,
You are
only
welcome.
2 states. Only 2 states.
A really big state, but
Quick-
yeah, no.
quick,
The
yeah.
19th, 5 o'clock starts hors d'oeuvres. Come over.
Yep.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah.
We have a new puppy that
And
wants to meet you.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure. But when we do come back to the AIE podcast, We will be talking to Machete and Stask in SWTOR. Who is probably going to say, hey, you stole our thing. But until then, AIE.
Lucy.
This is Gusty Tail saying bye.
Oh, and this is Lucy. Sorry.
It's okay.
Out there.
No, hashtag blame Gusty for it. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Blame Gusty.
Squirrel.
He does everything. He breaks everything.
Well, this has been Mewcow.
This is Makala.
This is Tetsemi.
And this has been the AIE Podcast. Done.
Yay!
For an hour. Yeah.
Woohoo!
All right.
Good job. Kept it at an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks.
So we have a couple show title suggestions so far. There's got to be a rune. There's going to be a rune for that.
Yep.
The hashtag what sword, or the hashtag what guild. So we'll let
They are
Lucy.
definitely not making it easy for us.
Nope. So Lucy and Gusty, you folks get to choose which show title you want.
Or combine stuff if you
Yes.
like.
I'd vote for there's got to be a rune for that.
Yeah, that one probably fits.
All right. We
Yeah.
will go with that. And chat room, thank you as always. I know it's the same time for everyone except the two Arizonans, so we're
Yeah.
starving and we're gonna go get dinner
Yeah.
and then log into another pen and paper game.
Yep. Well,
All
that's a
right.
discussion. That's a discussion of a pen and paper
I know.
game.
Bye, chat room. Thank you.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye, guys.